and you saw the horrors of when thousands, maybe tens of thousands of Palestinian civilians in the Gaza Strip trying to go to these places, being sniped at, assassinated, terrified, about 1 kilometer away from one of the stations, according to some of your media colleagues who have reported, including a representative of CNN. I was listening to him yesterday reporting from Tel Aviv. He said that there were confirmed reports from humanitarians and others that a kilometers away from the place of reaching the humanitarian distribution center, according to the mechanism put in place, not the UN mechanism, and then they were gunned down, some Palestinians, through snipers and other methods of killing them to horrify them so that they do not even reach this mechanism that they put in place for humanitarian assistance. So the mechanism of the UN is the solid one, is the one that is supported almost by everyone, the Arabs, the Muslims, the Europeans, everyone, because why do you try to find a mechanism when the existing mechanism is a solid one, tested one, proved itself? They have the experience, they have the personnel, they know how to reach the people in all corners of the Gaza Strip and provide humanitarian assistance to them. So we will know in the Security Council at 12 o'clock exactly what the E10 will proceed to do with the humanitarian draft resolution. And now the Security Council has to act, and the threat or the fear of not succeeding should not deter the Security Council from carrying its responsibility. But of course, the Security Council speaks for itself. We are in contact with all those who are genuinely concerned and outraged. It was not only the Palestinian people who are outraged, as I expressed in my last statement in the Security Council, but I can objectively say the great majority of humanity and nation states are outraged of what is really going on in Gaza, and they want to do something. So that's why we see some elevation and changes of positions from big, important countries in Europe and beyond, such as France, UK, and Canada. Their statement 10 days ago was very clear, very powerful, and very different than previous positions that they have articulated on this issue. That is significant. That is a beginning of turning the corner, and we hope to see more of that. And it is not Israel that will decide the future of the people in the Middle East, especially the Palestinian people. It is us. We, the people, will determine our own future with the support and the help of the great majority of nations. So we will see what happens in the Security Council. In the General Assembly, we are grateful for Spain's initiative to go to the General Assembly with a humanitarian resolution. That position was adopted at the highest level in Spain, led by the Prime Minister. We appreciate that, and we are grateful for the effort of Spain, which last year took the lead among European countries to recognize the state of Palestine. We've been working with them. The draft resolution is almost ready, humanitarian one. They might make the decision to circulate it for reaction of countries today or very soon, and to finish the consultation and try to table it before the end of this week in order to be able to give to the Secretariat of the General Assembly the 4 working days before acting on the resolution, which means the plan is to try to act on it by the end of next week. So The Security Council is acting. The General Assembly is acting. Geneva is acting. Now, the international conference. Of course, there several meetings took place. I am sure that you covered a number of them in preparation for this conference. What has been accomplished so far is a concept note. It's a very clear, strong, effective concept note of what this conference wants to accomplish. And also the 8 roundtables were also established. The definition of the role of each of these roundtables has been articulated as well. The leadership, the co-chairs of these roundtables also has been decided. The majority of them are from European countries for obvious reasons and Arab countries for obvious reasons, without excluding regions. For example, in North and South America, Canada is in the leadership loop. Mexico is in the leadership loop. Brazil is. In Africa, Senegal is, in addition, of course, to Egypt. In Asia, we have Japan in the leadership role, and we have Indonesia, in addition to the Europeans and the Arabs. So all corners of the globe are there. These are powerful countries. If the 19 leaders, the 2 co-chairs and the co-chairs of the 8 roundtable, to commit to implement what they called for in the concept paper, we expect from them to commit and to declare before the conference and during the conference to a number of practical steps, such as for those who have not recognized the State of Palestine to do so, or those countries with financial capabilities to commit substantial amount of money in order to strengthen the institutions of the State of Palestine in the years to come, in a concrete way, in a financial way, supporting programs so that this State of Palestine to become stronger and stronger in the face of this ruthless occupation. And if they also take steps, as was adopted in a Madrid conference on the 25th, to stop sending weapons to Israel to kill Palestinian children. And as Chile did just the other day, to sever any relationship with the settlements and the settlers, and also to take measures in order to shorten the life of this illegal occupation, to end it and to allow for the 2-state solution to become reality. So all these things are unfolding. More preparation is taking place. We expect large number of high officials to attend, besides ministers, some heads of states and governments, to also participate with us. We are determined that this conference is not going to be like any other conference. It is going to be a turning point in the process of ending this illegal occupation, as articulated in the historic advisory opinion of the ICJ, which said, because this occupation is denying the Palestinian people the right to self-determination, putting in place a system of discrimination, apartheid, illegally stealing our land and building illegal settlements and settlers, which need to be broken and eliminated according to the ruling of the ICJ, and also that is illegally annexing land of the Palestinian people. Because of all these things, the ICJ said that this occupation is illegal and it has to be terminated as quickly as possible, and asked the General Assembly to adopt modalities to do so. The General Assembly adopted a resolution giving the mandate to this international conference. Occupation, this illegal occupation, to end in 1 year, and also to convene this conference under the co-chairmanship of Saudi Arabia and France, and to be action-oriented conference, meaning commit to practical things. Don't keep relying, I vote with you in the Security Council and in the General Assembly, and my responsibility is over. No. What needs to be done in your capacity as a third party, as a state, what are you going to do to end this illegal occupation? So we will continue working with all of them. We will continue informing you, and we expect you to inform your audience and your followers and to educate them about all these things that are happening there. And we all together need to intensify our efforts to put an end to this genocide, to have a ceasefire, and to begin the process of the reconstruction of Gaza, and to have a successful international conference for the implementation of the two-state solution, and also to be a stage to be followed with structures to continue the process until we accomplish this global consensus of ending this illegal occupation and having the freedom and independence of the State of Palestine with East Jerusalem as its capital, so that we can say the two-state solution would become a reality. This is the background, okay? If you have questions, by all means. Yes, ma'am.
Ambassador, just a quick question. I broke the mic. So, according to sources, the country that you mentioned, the permanent council member, which is the U.S., is not engaging on the draft resolution, as far as what we know. So you're saying at 12 we'll know if the council is going to go ahead and vote on it, even if the U.S. is not engaging on that draft resolution?
I said that there was a country from among the E10 took upon itself to engage the country that you referred to, the permanent member. And we will find out what the report from that member of the E10, which took upon itself to engage, not on behalf of the 10, but in its own national capacity, which we appreciate their efforts. We need to find a way for the Security Council to adopt a position regarding humanitarian help to our people in the Gaza Strip through the mechanisms of the United Nations and the international humanitarians who are present in the Gaza Strip. So we will see what the report will be, and we will see what the E10 will decide to do. I am sure that the E10 will share with you what their plans are. But I should not jump the gun and speak on their behalf, because I don't. But I'm sharing with you the development as they are unfolding. Still, you know, we will not leave a stone unturned in order to bring an end to this vicious attack against our people in the Gaza Strip. We need immediate and sustainable ceasefire, and we need humanitarian assistance to scale to reach all Palestinian people in all corners of the Gaza Strip through existing mechanisms.
Ambassador Farnoosh Amiri with AP. Can you tell us if any of those 40 or so countries that have yet to recognize the State of Palestine have done so ahead of the conference? Have you gotten any assurances from them that they plan to make announcements?
We will find out soon, but let me just tell you, if you are a leader in the preparation of this conference, and if you are advocating in the concept paper for countries to take practical steps to be action-oriented conference, and you have not recognized the State of Palestine, wouldn't it make sense that you would lead by example by taking a step in that direction. And if you are also a leader among the 19 leaders, whether co-chairing the roundtables or the two co-chairs of the conference, you are asking the international community and nations to take practical steps to strengthen the institutions of the State of Palestine, to stop the war in Gaza, to reconstruct Gaza, which requires commitment to substantial amount of monies. Shouldn't the leaders to lead by example by themselves committing to substantial amount of commitment in that direction? We trust that those leaders who are in a position of leadership and adopting and approving the concept paper will declare important steps in that direction. It's only a short period of time from now before the conference to be convened, and we are cautiously optimistic, but we trust that those leaders have the capability to do the right thing, and we trust they will do the right thing.
The U.S. and Israel, are they participating?
My understanding in all of the meetings that took place here in New York, the three big ones, the United States was present, but at a lower level. They did not speak. My understanding also, in some of the meetings, Israel was present, but my understanding also they did not speak. This is General Assembly formula. Every member of the General Assembly is allowed and invited to participate in this conference. Those who select not to participate, that is their choice. But there is no one being deprived from participating in this meeting. Yes, ma'am. He did not officially declare. I am hopeful that by the time the conference is with us around, getting closer, and many leaders announce their participation, I am hopeful that President Abbas will participate. But the decision is up to him and up to the advisors around him. I am sure they're debating and discussing this issue. I impressed on him when I met with him in Amman recently that it is important for him to be in this conference, but I trust his wisdom and his judgment to make the right decision. Abdul Hamid.
There is an Arabic proverb that says that if you try the experience again and again, it will not produce the same results. So how many times you talk about engaging the Security Council? The Security Council should shoulder its responsibility. We should do it again. We engage in the member states, but nothing has been done. Israel continues with its genocide war. Nothing is stopping Israel because there is one country which is protected. It's not a war between Israel and the Palestinians. It's an American-Israeli war against the Palestinians. You know, everyone knows. So what could be done to deter the U.S. from continuing with its endless, enormous support of Israeli genocide?
My answer to this, question, which reflect a mood of large number who are frustrated with the fact that the international community, including the Security Council, is dragging its feet and not stopping this crime against our people. I understand that feeling. I get it. But yet also in the same time, I believe in two things. One, there is a law in physics that we learn in physics, that it says, if you keep accumulating things, the accumulation of quantities at one point will lead to a transformation into changes of quality. التراكمات الكمية ستوصل إلى تحولات النوعية. This is a law in physics. So that's number one. And I am a science student, although I am also a political scientist, and a law by practice through this UN, which requires creative thinking to keep accumulating. I am not a magician, or there is a silver bullet. If any one of you has a silver bullet to resolve this issue in few seconds, please show me. The second thing that I rely on, we are not exception to the rule. Let's take the super noble leader among all of us, Nelson Mandela. It took him forever, including 27 years in Robben Island as a prisoner. But he kept accumulating. He kept accumulating. And he won the support, not only of his people, but the support of the majority of nations, starting from Europe, after Africa, and other countries. And there was one last country that even after he was released from Robben Island and came to the United States as a superhero of humanity, he was still received a visa with an exception because he was a terrorist. He was removed from the terrorist list in that country 4 years after his freedom from Robben Island. Now, people do not like to remember these details. They like to remember that he was free. We are like him. We are still marching the march of accumulating this tremendous support that we are receiving from everyone, from millions, hundreds of millions of people in the streets of everywhere. This is a qualitative shift, even in the United States of America, and you lived most of your life in the United States. I did like you. We tried so many times in the past to include justice for the Palestinians as part of the national discourse among the social political movement in the United States. And we were denied. They thought that we are a liability, whether during the war against Vietnam or whether during the civil rights movement. But there is something different since Black Lives Matter in the United States. A huge social and political movement is taking place in this country that includes blacks, Latinos, labor unions, students who are Jews, Palestinians, Muslims from all corners of the globe. All of them are now embracing justice for the Palestinians and stopping the war in the Gaza Strip. This is a new phenomenon. It happened in the same manner during the fight against apartheid in the United States of America. It was the last stand before the collapse of apartheid. I believe, with my humble opinion and my experience in this work, that we are in the same path. It is going to be a matter of time before all governments, including the government of the most powerful in this country, to listen to the people who are marching in the millions of them in all streets of the United States, who are saying ceasefire now in the Gaza Strip, justice for the Palestinian people, and they are calling for dignity and respect for the Palestinian people through exercising their right to self-determination. I believe it is a matter of time before we see qualitative changes in the policies of those who make the decisions in the United States of America. And I don't lose hope So that's why, while you might think that I should be the most depressed person here in this building, as a diplomat, I am not. I am the most hopeful one, because I see everything. I see those who support us. I see the complexity. I see the pain and the tragedy of the Palestinian people, particularly in the Gaza Strip. It's a heart-wrenching situation, but yet leaders, they should lead by their heads and their brains and their wisdom and their creativity, not by anger and emotions, although our situation would anger the stones, would anger everyone, and we have the right to be angry, but yet leaders need to act with wisdom, with vision, with patience, with increasing the support and decreasing the support to the enemy, and to isolate the enemy until we break the backbone of this illegal occupation and acquire our independence and freedom. And I see it coming as I see you. And I sincerely hope to see it while I'm alive. But even if that is not the case, my children and my grandchildren and yours and all of you will be able to witness such a historic moment, as I am proud to say I was in the General Assembly with my daughter, few years old, when we welcomed Nelson Mandela as a hero of humanity after his freedom. Our moment will come.
سعادة السفير، طبعا أولوياتكم واضحة بالنسبة للمؤتمر المرتقب هنا في الأمم المتحدة خلال الأيام، ولكن نسمع في التصريحات الأوروبية والغربية بنود لا نسمعها في التصريحات العربية، والمتعلقة بارتباط مسألة الاعتراف بالتطبيع. هل ترى أن هذين المسارين متلازمان في هذا المؤتمر؟ وهل ترى أن مسألة التطبيع ستؤثر على مسألة الاعتراف بدولة فلسطين؟
أنا أعرف على أنه مثل هذه القضايا قد أثيرت في النقاش في التحضيرات للمؤتمر الدولي، وأعرف جيدا أن قوى دول عربية وازنة وقائدة قد وضحت أن هذين الموضوعين منفصلين. الاعتراف بدولة فلسطين شأن وطني للدول التي تريد أن تعترف بنا. التطبيع مع إسرائيل هو موضوع مختلف تماما، وحدد العرب منذ قمة بيروت عندما اعتمدوا مبادرة السلام العربية، والذي لا يزال العرب والمسلمين ملتفين حولها، والتي تدعو إلى أن موضوع التطبيع يأتي بعد انتهاء الاحتلال واستقلال دولة فلسطين وعضويتها في الأمم المتحدة، ثم مسألة التطبيع تأتي بعد ذلك، حيث أن العرب في مبادرة السلام العربية في بيروت عام 2002 والمسلمين في اجتماع وزاري وأعتقد قمة إسلامية في طهران قد أكدوا على هذه المبادرة التي تدعو إلى إنهاء الاحتلال أولاً والدولة الفلسطينية قبل أن يتم التطبيع في هذا الشأن. ولذلك يعني نعرف النقاش الجاري، ونعرف الذين يريدوا أن يضيفوا ثمناً لاعترافهم بدولة فلسطين شيئاً ليس هو مطروحاً على جدول الأعمال. الاعتراف بدولة فلسطين هو شأن وطني للدول التي ستقدم على هذه الخطوة، ويجب أن لا ترتبط بمسائل من النوع التي أشرت إليه. ونحن نشكر الدول العربية التي تقف بثبات في الالتزام بهذا الموقف. دولة فلسطين واستقلالها التي تتطلب إنهاء الاحتلال وتجسيد حل الدولتين على الأرض، أي المؤتمر الدولي اللي بنتكلم عنه هو لهذه الأغراض، هو أولويات قبل أي مسائل أخرى متعلقة بالتطبيع. وخاصة أن إسرائيل يعني تعلن كل يوم لا للدولة الفلسطينية لا لحل الدولتين، فتقدم لهم هدايا مجانية من هذا النوع لأي غرض إذا أنت كنت قائدا تريد أن تنفذ حل الدولتين. اعترف بدولة فلسطين وعزز هذا الدور، وعزز محاصرة الذي يعادي دولة فلسطين، لأن يستجيب إلى النداء الدولي أن دولة فلسطين هي الممر الإجباري، واستقلالها إلى أي تطبيع وإلى أي سلام منشود لمنفعة كل شعوب الشرق الأوسط هو ما يجب أن يتم، وهذا ما سيركز عليه المؤتمر الدولي. ونأمل أن يكون ذلك نقطة انعطاف هامة على طريق أن تسلم إسرائيل بأنها سلطة احتلال، ويجب أن ينتهي هذا الاحتلال كضرورة لا يوجد غنى عنها من أجل تجسيد حل الدولتين، ومن أجل السلام، ومن أجل تنفيذ مبادرة السلام العربية التي ستفتح الآفاق إلى شرق أوسط جديد يعيش فيه الجميع بما فيه الشعب الفلسطيني ودولتهم على قدم المساواة مع الجميع. هذه ضروريات السلام، وهذه ضروريات النجاح، ونأمل أن تقدم هذه الدول خاصة التي تلعب دورا قياديا في هذا المضمار بشجاعة على اتخاذ الموقف الذي اتخذته إسبانيا قبل سنة من هذه الأيام. Yes, ma'am. Let's first of all wait till 12 o'clock. Let's wait to hear from our friends in the E10 and others. And then let's see how they assess the situation. You cannot have the outrage that was displayed in the Security Council last week about the tragic situation and the genocide and using illegally food as a weapon of war against the Palestinian people in Gaza, and accept to be paralyzed. You have to act. If somebody stops you from adopting a resolution, then the pressure will not be on you. It will be on those who are not allowing the Security Council to shoulder its responsibility. But again, these decisions will be made by our friends in the Security Council, and we respect their judgment, we respect their position, and we hear loud and clear they're outraged as to what is really happening in the Gaza Strip, and with their willingness, if the Security Council not to shoulder its responsibility, to take steps in their national capacity. And many of them are so powerful that they can take steps that will put Israel in a position to pause and try to comprehend of what is really happening. This is a moment of truth, and no one has an excuse. Don't blame others. You can act in your national capacity. In my meeting yesterday to the OIC group, I told them, even those of you who have no relationship whatsoever with Israel, there is nothing that can deprive your parliaments, your governments of making declaration of such that we will never allow settlers to take a visa to our country. And we will never have relationship with settlements. We will boycott products from settlements, although you might not import a single orange from any of these settlements. But making such declaration is showing that you are ready for practical steps, and maybe an investment in encouraging those who have such relationship to follow your steps. So no excuse for anyone. Everyone is able to take practical steps. This is the time to take these practical steps to stop this genocide against the Palestinian people in Gaza, to stop the aggression against the Palestinian people in the occupied territory and to save the Palestinian people from the crimes that are committed against them: starvation, lack of medicine, children are dying from hunger, and all the detailed crimes committed against us by the Israeli occupying authorities. Each and every one has a moral responsibility to act, including you as journalists. Tell the truth, go and see reality, tell the story of the Palestinian people. Let your audiences learn of what is really happening so that they can act with their governments, with their parliaments, with their leaders. We, all of us, have to act, and I think Mr. Tom Fletcher summed it correctly. He said, our children and grandchildren will ask us in the future, what have you done when the genocide took place against the Palestinian people? So all of us will be judged by history as to how much have we done in order to stop this crime against the Palestinian people. Did you contribute in a practical way to stop it, or did you just watch and did nothing? On that note, and I want to thank you very much, we will talk more often. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask us. My duty and the duty of my team and my colleagues, the Arab ambassador, is to explain to you the details of what is unfolding, and the rest is in your hands, and we trust you will convey it to your audience in the best, objective, and effective way. Thank you very much. ايش يا نبيل كيفك؟